So recently I've been pondering, where do our ideas come from? What's the essence of art? And it's a journey that takes us through the depths of creativity and reflection. As artists, we have this incredible ability to turn the ordinary into something extraordinary, to paint our emotions and thoughts and the world around us. We can put this unique stamp on the world and change the world as we see it into our own style. So recently I stumbled upon an artist named Jill Button, who goes by the name Button Fruit, and the sad and longing eyes within their portraits struck a chord with me because I relate to them within my own work. I'm also drawn to capturing the human condition and that struggle that we all have just from existing, and putting that soul within my art. So it's fascinating to see other artists who have a similar theme that they explore, and this kind of shared sacred consciousness that the Big Magic book by Elizabeth Gilbert talks about is something that brings us together, and it's something quite unique in that ideas that I think are original I see in other people's work as well, where it's not really a genre, but I've seen people create portraits with fish on their heads in the same kind of style. So as an artist, I'm often wondering, what defines a finished artwork, and what makes one piece better than another, what means it's a sketchbook work, what means it's a doodle versus a professional finished artwork. And I think we can put too much emphasis on professional and being serious and losing that childlike playfulness within our work. And so on screen you're seeing, I couldn't sleep last night, so this is at 2 a.m. to about 5 a.m, just manically painting a lot of things. So they're not going to be that detailed, but what it's doing is just connecting me to my essence and figuring it out. A lot of it is stuff I've been painting many times before, so I don't find them too difficult, and I still get pleasure from them. I still get that satisfaction from having drawn a face, and there's still room for a lot of improvement, of course, because we're always improving, but I don't want to lose that style or childlike nature. So while I still cherish those childlike, playful sketches, I am on a quest to strike a balance between spontaneity and then the more polished artworks which take more time, like the life drawing piece from the AI art that you saw, which I'm quite proud of in terms of the knees and the legs particularly. But perfection's never the goal, it's always that room for improvement, but also just being in the moment. It's always fascinating to explore the human form and the emotions that inhabit this planet, and then the profound connections that we share through that. I'm also considering finding other sources of inspiration, because when I went to the Dali Museum, seeing that a lot of his inspiration came from poetry and writing, that's something I did a lot in illustration in my degree, where you take an article and you illustrate it. Of course, I needed it to be more precise, because back then I wasn't looking at all the little nuances, and they did call me up on, in one of the interviews, that it was an American article and I'd painted a UK skyline. So that kind of detail I do look at more since that experience. I'm also wanting to do more of a series where it's a series of 12 that really do connect to each other. The problem with that is I do need to get all the same size and quality, and at the moment I've got loads of different canvases and panels and paper, all different sizes, all different qualities, and I just need to get through them before I can justify buying more, because I just spend a lot of money on art supplies, and I'm still not at a stage where I can justify that with enough artwork going out of the house and going to new homes. So I've worked with a lot of amazing models over the years, both in person and online, and I'm always grateful and amazed at the amazing professionalism and the poses that they provide. So that got me into life modelling myself and figuring out what my body can do. And yeah, the models that have been doing it for 15 years are incredible. So I'm always inspired by the human form and capturing that. And the book I wrote goes a little bit more into that, or at least I find writing a bit more time to think of my thoughts and get it down. Even though I am dyslexic, it's a bit easier than speaking sometimes. And then art is easier still to communicate. So as I continue on this artistic journey, I'm learning to let go of the shoulds that I keep putting on myself. Like, I should be this way if I'm a professional artist, I should be this way. But I like keeping a lot of messy sketchbooks because they lead to good stuff. It's a bit more of a long-winded way than just churning out good stuff all the time, but that's just not the way my art works. So I'm learning to embrace that, and embracing the chaos, as I say. I want my art to flow freely. I want it to be embracing, all the wild ideas that come to mind, although there are some ideas that I feel like should they be made public or not. So there's no right or wrong way to express ourselves through the art, and it's all about staying true to our inner voice. I'm still trying to find that moment of being very present, very much in the moment. And when I do find it, you have it for a fleeting moment, and then the next day or next project or next drawing even, it sort of eludes from your consciousness again. So I want to really celebrate the joy of creation and the beauty in the imperfections and that endless inspiration that surrounds us. If anything, I feel overwhelmed by all the ideas that I have that may never get round to painting them. So together we can spark something really magical, in every brushstroke, in every stroke of genius that flows from us onto the canvas. And not every thing we think of would be a masterpiece, but we need to push through, because getting through all of those kind of scribbles, you get into that moment and you're on tenterhooks, because one little brushstroke could mess it up, but that's the adrenaline, that's the amazing creativity of art, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So as I go on this journey of self-expression through YouTube, through the socials, through my own art practice, I invite you to join me, and let's paint a world that reflects who we are and encapsulates the essence of humanity, the human spirit that we all have, even though at times it's difficult to see within the world that we have. Art has the power to touch hearts and inspire minds and bring us all closer together. And I think the world is a better place for having art in it. So thank you for being a part of this artistic journey so far and this exploration with me. So that's pretty much all I had to say, really. I'm not very good at voiceovers. I'm still learning, but thanks for bearing with, and until next time, keep being creative, keep scribbling, and happy painting.